Hello again, internets. Wait,
right,
we're
yeah,
over here
right.
now. That's right.
it's,
so we
yeah,
are.
'cause it's there, and then
We
you're
have
there.
invested some money. We have invested some money
Yeah.
into a new camera. This new
Yup.
camera, you may have seen it in some of our unboxings on Renegade Faction and everything.
Yup.
You are now seeing it as a kind of experiment for our reactions. People have been asking us for a long time, you all need to get an HD camera, which, truth be told, we've been using an HD webcam, and
Yep.
we've been in contact with Sub 2R. They are a new
yeah,
HD webcam,
that's right. I remember that
new
now.
HD webcam maker, and until they come out with their stuff, we're going to make do with this. We are currently recording on a Canon Vixia. And it is in HD, and we are recording at 60 frames per second. Ooh,
Spooky.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Also a little anecdote here as well. This is going to be the last thing we're recording before I chop my hair off.
Well, there's one more.
No,
Is there going to be one more
Okay,
after
yeah,
this,
these two
or-
videos. Yeah, these
okay.
two videos that you are seeing right now are the last ones that we're going to record before I chop my hair off. So also be prepared for that shocking development.
Like, are we talking just like a trim or just?
Maybe just. I'm
Oh.
not sure. I'm not.
Oh
sure.
boy.
But anyway,
And we haven't even hit a milestone recently.
well, we hit.
He's just doing this for
60,000.
funsies.
Well, we're gonna do another one live on camera. It will be me. Say when we hit 75,000.
All right.
I will say, okay, I will not cut my hair until we hit 100K, and when we hit 100K, we'll live stream my haircut.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So let's get it to 100K quick enough so I don't have to grow it out so fast.
Well, it's better than my idea.
Is it the ice thing again?
No.
Oh, thank God. What is it?
Live stream appendectomy.
Oh,
No, I just had that idea. That's a
Damn.
terrible idea. I know.
Who are you, Carney Wilson? Do you get that joke?
I get that joke. I just don't like it.
What, Carney Wilson? Well, she live streamed her gastrointestinal bypass.
There was somebody who actually live streamed having a baby.
I've seen that one.
That
That one I find beautiful. I mean,
And
it's theirs, but I'm not gonna hate Carney Wilson because she did that.
Yeah.
It's just like why would I live stream something? Well, that's me personally. If Carney Wilson wants to live stream that, she can do it until the cows come home.
well, there's also just the fact of, stuffed dove comes crawling out of your chest cavity.
Archimedes?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
So
yeah. I got to
Rooster
get used
Teeth-
to over here because I'm used to
Rooster
that.
Teeth,
And
I
there's
know.
this. Yeah.
Which eventually
Yeah.
I want to get a stand to
Yes.
where I can put it on the TV up there.
That would
so
be
that would make it a
useful.
lot easier.
Yeah.
And plus it'll keep the immersion because it'll look like, hey, we're looking at the crowd along with the video.
Yeah.
And well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Well, there's also the idea that I really like where it's just us in silhouette in front of the video.
Yeah.
Just Mystery Science Theater the hell out of it.
That's what I would like as well.
That'd be pretty great. We
Yeah.
have to do that sometime. That'd be
Punch
good.
beef,
Gristle McThorne body.
big McLarge, huge.
Bob Johnson.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Anyway,
Beef
so
Kokomo.
you didn't.
Okay, sorry, but
Oh,
that's a whole thing. And guys, we are going to watch some RTAA. This is Miles's Strip Club Predicament.
Now, I feel like we need to say something before we get to this. We're sorry RT Tuesday was a little late.
Yeah,
you guys.
sorry guys. What this is going to be, I guess, RT Thursday. It'll go back to Tuesday from here on out.
Yeah,
it's just
you guys deserve a little extra, a little something bonus.
yeah. This
for
week,
value.
Okay, over the last week, we have had a hectic thing.
It's been nuck and futz, I tell you what.
Okay, but on my side of the spectrum, family issues and also personal issues with family members. And also, it was Memorial Day weekend, and we had a huge celebration,
Yep.
on both Saturday and Sunday. And I really could not get out of those, no matter what I did.
Yeah, and like my plans changed at least 4 times the
Damn.
day before things happened. So it's just like,
Yeah.
You ever have one of those weekends where it's a long weekend, but you feel like you got way less rest than you would have on a normal weekend? Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures.
RTAA?
76 through 80.
Yes.
So
we got some good ones here.
Yeah, there's one of my personal favorites is in this list. It's really, really good.
All right. So we got the first one up here. This is Miles's Strip Club Predicament. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of nudity, Michael, having you here tonight reminded me of the last time we actually hung out for an extended period of time.
I don't like where this is
Which
going.
was at a strip club. I don't like strip clubs. It's just, I don't know, it makes me really uncomfortable. So, Brandon picked up on that real quick, and I was having a conversation with you. I'm sitting at the table, all the chairs had wheels, and all of a sudden the table's getting farther away, like, oh, where am I going? And I see, like, Brandon's just in tears laughing, Chris is snickering. I'm like, oh, no, they didn't. And I turn around, and I see the stripper. Now, everybody at home, I want you to imagine a stripper with the name Dark Chocolate. Imagine a stripper named Dark Chocolate, make her 3 times as big. That was this stripper. Whenever I'm in an awkward situation, I just laugh. That's what I deal with nervously. So she leans forward and she says the words, "I'ma smother you in my titties." And I burst out laughing. And the next thing I know, I'm suffocating in her titties. And I'm laughing my ass off. And she stops mid her thing and rears back and she looks at me, she goes, "Are you retarded or something?" I go, "No, I'm just really having a hard time," and just continue to laugh.
And there was a continuation after that. I remember that one live.
No.
I remember that one live. And
no.
as Brandon said, she was really expensive too. And it was like to get a private dancer for her was like really expensive. And Brandon did it just to mess with Miles.
Wow.
And okay, guys, I'm gonna level with you all. I've been to 2 strip clubs in my life. The first time I went was because it was a friend of mine's bachelor party, and and he invited me, and I was just like, hey, it's one more night with the boys, and like, okay. And
sure, all right.
I was gonna say this was the establishment we went to, that everyone had fun, but how my mind works, I overanalyze and assess things way too much. I swear I could count the bullet holes on these women. They'd been shot before. I could tell, either that or something very bad. Like a puncture wound of some kind.
That
anyway,
is a problem.
Yes,
that's
the
not
guys
good.
Didn't care. They were there to have fun. I tried to.
And you're
it was after the time where I really stopped enjoying drinking so much. There was a point where I loved to drink. I used to love to drink. And then after that, it was just like, it's just like, I don't like the feeling it gives me. As my friends put it, you pretty much just became a woman. And I'm just like, screw you. And they're like, that's the Nate we know. And it's just like, I don't like to drink, guys. Come on. I don't like to drink anymore. Honestly, if you all want to, sit down and have a meaningful chat or, want to play games or whatever, I'm all game. I'm all for it. But I went, but that was the first time I went. Second time I went was it was in North Carolina, and this was back right after I got out of college, right after I quit college.
All right.
I just made a pretty good amount of money working on a project for a local news outlet.
Oh no!
And they paid me about $3,000 to $4,000, and
Ooh.
I was just like, all right, I want to go have some fun. So that weekend, the weekend I went to Carowinds and everything, and I had a blast at Carowinds because Carowinds is one of my favorite places to go for roller coasters. I'm a roller coaster fanatic, guys. I love them to death. This guy over here doesn't like them very much.
No.
They scare him.
No. Look.
No.
Look, I'm basically a tall dwarf. I don't want to be off the ground. That's basically how it is. I don't like heights at all.
I'm not holding that against you.
Yeah.
Everybody likes what they like. But I went to Charlotte, and I was down there with a few friends, and they all said, "Dude, let's go to this club here, man." And me, I was having a fortuitous weekend, and I was just like, I'll buy the way in for everybody. We go to this expensive strip club. I'm not sure if it's still open. It was called Platinum Ladies, and we go in, and the place is really nice. Honestly, it's like high-end nightclub setting, and the women there are extremely beautiful, and it was a nice evening. And this was back when I was still drinking a bit, so I got a little more. So that was the other time I went, and one of the guys, they wanted me to pay for a private dance for them, and I was just like, all right, how much did they cost? And I looked, and I was just like,
You don't have that much money.
I want to get home, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like
And
we
it's
need gas
just like,
money.
I kept giving them 20s to break up into 5s and 1s, so they could sit around the stage. And I was just like, okay. And it's just like, and we went and we drove home, and the whole time they were talking about, man, we should have got a private dance. Man, we should have got a private dance. And it was just like I was like, was one of y'all gonna pay for it? And they're like,
no. Huh.
And they all, and it was
No,
just
like,
nope. Okay.
Yeah, I really have nothing to add here.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell that.
Yeah, no, that's
okay.
fair.
But moving on.
All right.
We now come to
nice carrot sweat.
This is the one you were talking about.
This is one of my all-time favorites. Just there's one moment in here that I quote a lot. A pretty fair amount. So let's do it.
Okay.
There's always something that's amazed me. So you get a carrot. A carrot grows in the ground, and then it gets picked by somebody that you'll never meet, throws it in the back of a cart, it travels in open air to the plant, they wash it off, they put it in a package, they send it to the store, somebody else unloads it in a loading dock, and then they put it out where everyone else in the supermarket comes by and touches it, and then you take it home, you rinse it off, and then you drop it, and you're like, oh, now it's ruined. No fucking sense. Yeah, well, you have that weird thing where, like, your bodily fluids are acidic.
Yeah,
It's like the world's worst superpower.
I can slowly, over the course of 3 years, dissolve 0.5 centimeter of metal.
You could escape from jail. Just grab the bars.
20 years, I'm getting out of here.
The guards walk by, they go, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing.
Nope.
People in Texas are fucking
is.
nice, and even more like genuine nice. But I'm just not used to it. I'm like, why are you so fucking nice?
Yeah, it's suspicious.
You want my blood? New Jersey's
You want my
what
blood?
do you want? Here's what I want. All right, here's your change. Get out. All right, fuck you. And then you walk out.
Well, I can
Like,
tell
I'm
you a
used to
place
that.
where that you probably hate worse than any place. I go to Mighty Fine Hamburgers. And they go, hey, sir, how's your day? I go, good, how's yours? And they go, mighty fine. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you.
I want to now get a job somewhere
Here it
where
is.
that's completely irrelevant, like Jersey Mike's. I'll be like, how's your day? And they'll be like, good, how's yours? And I'll be like, Jersey Mike's. It won't make any sense.
Okay.
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
I do that all the time. It's so great.
So okay. I've been to New Jersey. I was gonna say, did you notice who that was behind the counter in New Jersey? That was Danny
DeVito, yeah.
Because
That's the only person they know from New Jersey, apparently.
I was just like, what do you want? I want this. All right, here's your change. Get
out.
All right.
Right.
F you.
Yeah.
And I've been to New Jersey and I've been to New York, and I gotta say, some of the convenience stores are pretty hostile. Because they want you to get the hell out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Like me, I went in there for a Coke, and I'm standing there, I'm looking, and I find a 20 ounce Coke, and I get it, and I'm looking, I'm walking down the aisle, I'm like, do I want bubble gum too? And I was just like looking,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the guy behind the counter was just like, oh, hurry the hell up, will you? And I'm just like, sorry about that, and I grabbed my. I grabbed it.
I
and
guess I
come
don't want bubble gum after
No,
all.
I grab some juicy fruit, and I come up, and I was just like, all right, how much is that? And he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm originally from Virginia. He's like, oh, well, I was gonna say, didn't know if you were new to this area, because if you were new to this area, I don't know if I'd serve you or not. And I'm like, okay, I'm just passing through, man. And he's like, all right, here's your change. And he sits back down. He goes back to watching his baseball game. He's like, come on!
That's the bit that sold it. It's just like, all right, I'm not sure how to feel about this. There it is. There's the laugh.
Yeah,
all
and
right.
I was just like,
Good.
And the very moment he sat down and turned the volume back on in the game, and he went, come on! And I was like.
And now we know what's going on.
I scampered out before
Yep.
before he could turn around and see me again.
Yup.
But
Get out of there.
That was interesting. Here, a lot of the convenience store owners around here are actually pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I was gonna say they're even nice to people who are like mean to their face. There's this one guy. He's Pakistani, and he doesn't like force people to he doesn't force women to wear hijabs whenever they come in, or he doesn't force men to stop swearing whenever they come in or anything like that. But this one guy just saw him and was just like, "Where are you from, man?" Yeah, you see, there's bad people everywhere, guys. There's a-holes everywhere. and they come in all shapes and sizes, colors, and genders. And the point is, you never judge others based upon how you are treated by someone else from a certain group. You never should. I mean, just because I ran into a bad egg up north does not mean that all people up north are a-holes. And just because that Pakistani man got sweared at and told he needed to go back to where he belonged and everything by a Southerner, that does not mean all Southerners are a bunch of drunk redneck assholes. I mean, I run into them every now and again, but the majority of people I meet are actually pretty nice. Mm-hmm. And you can't live your life viewing everything through a fixed spectrum like a window. You got to get out there and experience the world for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to for me, I was dying of boredom whenever before I started getting out there more. But anyway, Miles' daring party escape is the next one. I've been in a few parties that have been raided by cops, and the cops really never arrest anybody unless they were like assaulted by the people. They just broke the party up, told the kids to get out, get home and all this. Don't drive. If you're drunk, don't drive. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's what one cop. It was at this frat party, and he's like, "Don't drink." It's like, if you've been drinking, don't drive. I'm not gonna ask how old you are.
Oh, well, that's
just,
nice.
They never really arrested anybody. They were really cool about that. Because they're just kids having fun, and they understand that as long as the kids aren't hurting anybody. But they were being loud. That was the reason they broke the party up, and that's just standard practice for almost any cop. But anyway,
I mean, I've had some moments where I've felt like it's like I need to get out of here because bad things are going to happen if I don't.
Yeah. Well, as I was exiting, I ran into a cop on accident. I bumped into him on accident as I was exiting because he was coming around the corner, and here I came, bump.
Oh, yep.
And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, officer. He's like, have you been drinking? And he puts the flashlight up in my eyes. He's like, have you been drinking? I'm like, no, sir, not a drop. I was just DJing here for the night. He's like, you need to get your stuff, and I'm like, no, I usually pick it up in the mornings after whenever someone lets me in. And they're like, and he's like, all right, well, we're breaking the party up, so if you want to go home, be safe out there. I'm like, yes, sir. And
there you go.
Yeah, some cops out there are nice. I mean, honestly, I've ran into a few a-hole cops, but the ones that are good have far outweighed the bad. But anyway, parties are always something that I like to go to, but I've been at a few that have gotten buck wild, and I knew that it wouldn't last. And I guess this is what happened here. So let's see how Miles.
Miles Luna.
I was at a party with, I will call him Don. Got hammered. We're having a good time. I'm out in the backyard talking with a few of my friends. This girl comes out. She says, guys, the police are here. And I froze because I'd never been to a party that had been busted by the cops before. So my first thought was like, Don, we got to get the fuck out of here. I'm really drunk. And my buddy's like, that sounds like a great idea, Miles. What are we going to do? So I'm like, guys, over the fence. Let's go. Me and Don were the only people to go. All my other sober friends were like, bye. These two other freshmen that had gone to the party were completely panicked. We're like, these guys seem to know their shit. So they followed us.
No, they don't.
We can see all the blue and red lights on the other side of the fence. And we're fucking terrified. Like, Don, go over the fence. See how many there are. He's like, oh, yeah, I got it. So he goes over the fence, and he puts his hands up, and he pulls himself just right over the edge. And then the whole thing snaps, and the fence falls forward, and I just go, run! So we just start sprinting, and fortunately the neighbor's backyard was connected to all these woods and shit. So we're just sprinting through the woods, and we went down into this riverbed that was dried up. I was helping the kid down. He goes, hey, man, I just wanted to say thanks, man. I'm just, I have scholarships. I can't get arrested, man. And I shit you not, I go, what's your name, dude? And he goes, Johnny. I go, Johnny, I'm going to get you out of here. I sit on the back. And this kid was probably like, thanks, dude. But in my mind, I was like, it's going to be okay. And triumphant horns were playing and shit. And we got all out of there.
Yep.
We made it to some playground in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere and parted ways. We start calling our friends like, hey, man, are you okay? Are you all right? And my friend's like, what? Is everything okay? I know the cops come. Hold on 1 second. I'm at the party. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it was just a noise complaint. It's totally fine.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Okay. So, yeah, we've had the cops, because whenever I was DJing a party, they always told me, make it loud. Let them hear it upstairs. And it was just if it gets too loud, I know the cops are going to come and knock him because this was in a pretty populated area, too.
Yep.
And I know a lot of college kids occupied the residence around, but every now and again, you'll have a family renting a house there, or someone, or another person who just who's working a 9 to 5,
or you've got somebody who's like pulling all-nighters trying to work on a term paper.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we get calls about noise, and it's just like, okay, all right, it's like, okay, so this is a 10. And as a matter of fact, I've heard one conversation. It's like, all right, now I know y'all are having fun. I can see that, but right now y'all are at a 10. We need you at about a 7.5 to 8, and that's all. You can keep going. Y'all can keep having fun. Just keep the noise down.
Just bring it down.
Just bring it down a notch. All right. And I was just like, okay. And luckily, I was just like, okay, let's turn this down here. Turn this down here, and. It was like nothing changed because and it's just like everyone was still out on the floor dancing. I was like, I remember one time I had Jump Around by House of Pain playing, and like the whole floor was just like I was gonna say my buddy Clint was upstairs and he said he could feel the floor shaking because so many people were jumping up and down because this was a tall base. It's like this basement down here. It was a tall basement. And people were jumping up and down, and they were shaking the ground so hard that they could feel it upstairs.
Goodness!
Where they had the jungle juice out in the kitchen. Oh my gosh, those are some good times, man. Good times, had fun. All right, For Whom the Bell Tolls. I like the Metallica reference there.
Yep. Also, this is also ask not for whom the bell tolls; it tolls for thee.
Okay,
but This is a quality prank.
This is
because I have a couple criteria when I see a prank. It's like this one is well thought out. Mm-hmm. And there's no harm done to anybody.
No physical harm done.
Right, no physical harm done to anybody or anybody's property.
Yeah.
I mean, this is good. This is very good.
Quality prank.
Oh yeah,
this is
excellent.
Good quality prank.
Oh man.
All right. So, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Here we go.
Does Kara listen to the podcast?
It tolls for Kara.
Probably.
She's probably listening to us right now. She's
outside the door. All right, well, I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I happen to have a doorbell button on the bottom of my desk, and anytime someone goes up there and gets a little too chatty, there just happens to be someone at the door.
You're an asshole. I've been trying to figure that out for a while. So, I've been recruited trying to figure this out.
Carrie told me about this, but I totally forgot about it. I hear the doorbell ring.
Yeah.
Sarah goes to the door, and there's nobody there. And then you came out of your office, and you opened the door and looked outside, and she's like, "Who is it? There's somebody hiding." And you're like, "No, nobody's there. What the fuck?" And she's like, "Somebody's playing tricks on me. I think this building's haunted." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I forgot they had that doorbell button upstairs."
You can always tell when you're close to having it happen. Like, I remember she's watching the video, and then all of a sudden she'll just say I think it was about Marshall's desk and cleanliness, and then you just see Marshall's face change. The decision has been made, and then his arm slowly starts to move under the table.
Marshall Rimmer. I'm sad that he's gone, but he was part of their live action, RT Shorts crew.
Oh yeah.
Him and Chris Damaris were like the spearheaders of that.
Mm-hmm.
Marshall was one of the heads of that, and I thought some of the shorts way back when were hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And now Chris Damaris and a few others are now in charge. I think it's Chris, Carey, and I think Miles is also in control.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But. And also, Blaine. I forgot Blaine.
Oh, yeah.
Blaine Edwards is now a big part of it. And I was going to say, the fact that Marshall had that as well, and also KJ 99.9
Marshall and Miles in the morning. Just so good.
You see, stuff like that,
so good.
And it's just like, another one of my favorite contributors to Rooster Teeth is gone, Ray. Ray left of his own volition. He wanted to leave. He felt like his time at Rooster Teeth had come to an end, and I don't fault him for that.
Yeah,
and he went out. He did his own thing.
Stay there and try to force the magic to happen.
No,
which is good because he would have ended up hating everything.
Yeah, and that's just like also departures from Funhouse as well. First you had I think it was Spool, and then you had Joel leave. Not Joel Heyman, Joel Rubin.
Right, yeah. I was like...
No, not Joel Heyman.
What happened to Caboose?
No.
Tell me what happened to Caboose.
Joel Heyman, he says, I'll be at Rooster Teeth forever. I'll be at Rooster Teeth forever.
Yep.
Like, no. Never leaving.
The number won't stop going down!
Yeah, why won't the number stop going down? Okay.
Caboose.
But
anyway.
And also now we come to Jeff's Vespa crash. Jeff Ramsey, whom I was so sad when he stopped appearing on the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Yep.
Or it was earlier on known as the Drunk Tank podcast. Now that he's no longer a part of the Rooster Teeth podcast, I was upset. But then all of a sudden they started doing Off Topic, and Jeff started appearing on there more and more, and started telling more stories. Because Jeff's stories, I think, are some of the best.
Jeff has really good stories.
Like Kevin Porch. Like
Porch. I forgot about Porch.
I got hit so hard in the head in a gas station parking lot by a guy named Porch.
I forgot about Porch.
He put a dent in my head. And then there was also I also got Fester. I got beat up by a guy named Fester. It's like, you mean Lester? No, his name was Fester. Wow. And he's like, and you know how I know this? It's because when I ran up and I knocked the one guy down, he goes, Fester, take care of him. And Fester took care of me.
Yep. Oh.
And he's like, I could imagine you waking up in the doctor's office later on. He's like, it was Fester.
Yep. Jeff has had a very interesting life.
A very interesting one. I'd love to have a life as interesting.
No, I don't.
Maybe
interesting like a Chinese curse.
Maybe not in some ways. Maybe not in some ways.
But well, I mean, there was that time that he and Griffin and Millie went to Italy.
Oh, yes.
And that was.
And then there was another time. And then
Griffin.
there was another time that they went to New Orleans.
Oh no!
Yeah, early on.
No, not that again. I don't.
No, we don't have to go there.
No.
But needless to say, Jeff is an interesting cat.
Oh boy!
Here we go over his Vespa crash. Here we go.
Hey, weren't you in a car crash, Jeff?
I guess we should talk about that. Yeah. I have a very nice friend who wanted to buy a Vespa. She knows I have a motorcycle license, so she asked if I would be kind enough to drive it back to her house for her. So I complied, and I was driving in Lamar, going about 40 miles an hour, and I had to make a left turn, and I couldn't figure out the turn ratio, and so I ran straight into a curb. I did a flip in the air. I landed on my neck, bounced over a sidewalk, and then landed on the other side of the grass. The guy who stopped and called the paramedics, the guy said it looked awesome. I felt so bad about wrecking this Vespa that this girl has only owned for about 10 minutes.
Did she see you wreck it?
No, we got separated driving, and so they had to come back, and they just saw the bike in pieces. Anyway, so then the paramedics come. The paramedics turned out to be two super hot chicks, and they laughed and laughed and laughed at me, and that was emasculating. And then 3 cops showed up, and then they were laughing and laughing and laughing, asking how I could possibly crash a scooter. You know, it was all very, very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, they used red. Bernie does not stand for that. I'll just say.
Yep.
Okay. So Jeff. Okay, I've had a few incidents where I've been like very embarrassed. For one, I had this really bad infection on the back of my leg. I think it was from a rusty nail. I was helping my dad out in a barn, and I remember like leaning back against this ladder, and like a stinging sensation got me.
That'll do it.
I think maybe a bug bit me or something. Turns out it was a rusty nail.
Yep.
And anyway, I go in and I made the mistake of wearing pants in. So I had to pretty much pull my pants down, and I was just there in my underwear, laying on the table, and it's just like, don't worry, Dr. Williams will see you in a moment, and I'm just like, okay. So I lean my head over to the side, and all of a sudden I hear someone enter the room, and I hear a voice go, I hear a female voice go, so, Mr. Hamilton, what's the problem? And I turn over and I look, and it's a very attractive young nurse, and I'm just like, rusty nail. Me sitting there and me laying there belly first in my underwear.
And you're just like,
I'm just like, this no good. And the doctor comes in, and she's an attractive young doctor, and I was just like, son of a bitch, could this be any worse?
The one time.
Yeah. And I was just like, and they lanced it. And they drained it, and they
wrapped it up
and put some, gave me some antibiotics and everything.
Yep.
And and the next time I came, and I had to come back a second time,
follow up.
So about 2-3 days go by, and my leg's feeling a bit better, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's starting to work.
Yep.
And I made the good call to wear shorts this time.
Good call. Good call.
To wear loose fitting shorts. So I pull the leg of my shorts up, and the doctor comes in this time, and it's a guy doctor. Doctor I forget his last name. It begins with an E.
No, it's not important.
Dr. Elmore, that's his name.
Okay.
Anyway, he comes in and he looks at my leg and he's like, "This is looking a lot better. Very nice, very nice." And all of a sudden, this hot nurse, the hot nurse comes back, and every time I see an attractive nurse in real life, I have that Animaniacs, "Hello, nurse."
Please no.
No, I didn't say that. It's in my mind.
Oh.
But anyway.
Oh boy.
I see her, and I'm just like, so it's feeling a lot better. And I was just like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, and I chatted up with her for a little bit, and it was just like, I was just like joking. I was just like jokingly. I was just like,
oh no.
So you wanna go out and catch a cup of coffee or get a cup of coffee? And,
all right, we're gonna try this.
No,
we're gonna see how this goes.
I was being very forward with her because we'd seen each other twice and everything, and she was like, as flattering as that is, I actually have a boyfriend, but in all honesty, I've already seen you with your pants off. And it's just like,
and it's time to go.
And it's just like
I've already seen you with your pants off.
And confidence just sunk lower than the Great Depression. And then after that, it's just, I didn't have to go back to the doctor.
Yeah, and you're really happy about that.
I'm just sitting there, just like, and every now and then I think back to it. It's just like, what if I wouldn't have worn pants if I'd have worn shorts that day? It's just like, would she have? I was gonna say, I don't know if she was lying or not. I mean, honestly, I've heard some women. I don't know. They like to say that they have a boyfriend because they're generally not interested in the guy. If that's the case, that's fine. All right. Yeah. But anyway, this has been RTAA 76 through 80.
Yep.
Man,
oh,
these
boy.
are fun.
These are good.
Always
these are
fun.
really good.
And guys, what do you all think of the new camera? Do you like where it's at? Do you like the quality of it? I mean, I like the quality of it. I mean, 60 frames per second doesn't hurt at all.
Yep.
So, if you like what you see, let us know. Also, the Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures. Check out the links to the originals down below. Check out Rooster Teeth. They put out all sorts of awesome content. Also, check the description for all of our various other endeavors, including our second channel, which has gaming and unboxing videos and computer assembly and all this.
Yep.
So, yeah. If you wish for us to watch something else, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, Internet, we will see you later. Peace out.
Jazzy Mikes.
Jazzy Mikes.